Okay, alright. Hold on. Sorry, I don't use this for tournaments. There we go. Alright. So, welcome everyone to episode Tournament 28 Smuggling Run. So, this is we did one of these previously. I'm trying to remember which tournament it was. 20 tournament 26 actually. So the rules are simple-ish. We have two players working together. One player has brought warships, the other has brought raiders that are supporting them. And they have to fight through several waves of AI opponents. Whichever team is able to defeat all of their opponents with the largest number of surviving freighters, or at least the largest number of surviving cargo capacity, wins. So, we have a couple of teams here. We have 5 teams. First up is Pixie Code and Pyrophage, who have the second highest potential final score. Some teams have simply opted for less space-efficient freighters that they feel will be more viable. But there's a lot of tonnage for cargo in this team. So let's take a look at the ships and see what we're going to be dealing with. I have no idea what we're going to be dealing with for for the opposing forces here. But let's see what our players have brought to the table. First up, we have Pixie Code with the Boys Beckoning Prophets, the triumphant return of the Bemperor. So we have a Nodmor as our flagship, a Bimperial battle cruiser, ultra caliber heavy chemrails. Oh, delicious! I love these so much. Oh yeah. A heavy Jezzail battery. It's a good sniper weapon. A Mark IV cannon. A bit of an interesting choice. No missiles at all. It has a bunch of missile hardpoints that are just going unused here. Got overfed magazines. 50% more ammo for ballistic weapons. And ballistic rate of fire is doubled. I see. Alright. So that's gonna be horrific with those chemrails. ITU hardened shields bringing it down to 0.75, which is pretty good for a low-tech ship. Then we have a bunch of coyotes. And it looks like these are all fitted in one of 2 ways. They've all got defense pod auxiliaries, which have light mortars and mining lasers. Overtaxed targeting system. Not sure what that one does. I assume it reduces range or increases spread or something. It's not going to be fun for those light mortars. Which mod is the chemrails from again? Those are from the Catter Theocracy. Whose fleet is it? This is the Pixie Code. Oh, I missed the Jacana spike pods. So Jacana spike pods, phase lances, flare guns, mini blasters, with extended shields, hardened shields, Spana Missile Rex, stabilized shields, and accelerated shields. So a 0.56 shield with 5,000 capacity on a frigate. And all of the coyotes are either this variant or a variant with an antimatter blaster in place of the phase lance. And then finally, there is a Mudskipper Mark II with a Lucivigus Swarmer. Ill-advised modifications, so they're not going to get anything done. Compromised storage. So that's also just not going to result in anything. Let's see. Increased chance of malfunctions, so it's fucked. These things, I will be impressed if this gets more than a single barrage off. Hull and armor reduced by 10%, flux capacity reduced, flux dissipation reduced. Flux dissipation increased. Well, is that a big deal? I mean, it's not generating any flux with a swarmer. Anyways, and for Pyrophage's fleet, we have a Savarin class elite heavy cruiser, the Murder Hobo, with overfed magazines, 2 more ultra caliber chemrails, 2 heavy Jezzails, some Jiliu large mining collectors, and flare guns for point defense. It's got an... Oh! Okay. So, apparently if I mouse over the officer details, the game crashes to desktop. So we'll just not do that. Yeah, the officer was just too powerful. So I will simply remain in the dark on what the officer details does. Anyways, hardened shields, overfed mags, in ITU, pirate modifications as well. Can mouse over the officers in the combat layer to see skills? Oh, so it just means that there's an officer on it. Okay, fair enough. And then Pyro has brought unholy number of Zebus. I think it's something like 30. They have rapid repair system because they're junkers. They're fitted with Jerichos, which are quite potent. Reinforced bulkheads, fighter clamps to bring defense pods, expanded cargo holds, and ECCM. So these have a cargo capacity of 423. And they are all the same loadout. There's gonna be an unholy number of missiles in the air. Fighter clamps refresh the fighters at the beginning of each wave. Oh no. Oh, that's interesting. Anyways, Prometheus. Scoremobile tanker. 3,900 fuel capacity. 4 defense pods on fighter clamps. Seriously? Jesus Christ. Collapsed cargo holds because it doesn't need the cargo capacity anyway, so it's down to 20. Aux fuel tanks, expanded magazines, and it just has a bunch of sling ADS pods, as well as a pair of sharpshooters. We have a carton. It's just a trebuchet. 33% less ammunition and ECCM. Fantastic. And then we've got a bunch more of these mud skippers that are not going to fire more than 1 barrage. So let's get into it. Which button is it again? Here we go, drag free cam. Alright, so the Imperial Armada is moving into the middle. That is so many frigates. The Zebus are already firing away. Our first wave is going to be derelicts. I see some ramparts, some defenders, berserkers, you know, normal stuff. I don't think that this is really going to slow down this many ECCM missiles. Like, holy shit. Also, thank you so much for the sub, Pixie Code. This wave is kind of just gonna be a wash. Let's be real here, folks. So many missiles coming out, tearing through these derelicts. I'm not sure that they've even landed a hit on the hull of any of the players' ships. Another rampart goes down. These Jerichos are getting in so much work, so much damage output, all of it high explosive. The derelicts do not stand a chance. And there is only a single rampart left. It is trying to do anything at all, and it is getting chewed through. Look at those ultra calibers going, though. Alright, fleets are reset, reloaded, and refreshed. What is our second wave going to be? They coming from? Coming from over here. It's like pirates. I see a Snathod, Kill Skipper, Bitzer already down, Kite already down, that Hound not long for this world, Mudskipper Mark II not long for this world. The only thing that's vaguely dangerous here is the Kill Skipper, and it's already gone. There has to be more than just these ships, right? There's more that I'm missing, right? Snathod is down. Where are the rest of them? Okay, they're coming from over here. Very small battle line now. We've got a Brigantine, Booth, Ass, Marauder, Roamer. The Brigantine's already down. A Mule and a Shepherd. Oh my god, those Ultra Caliber chemrails. It's so much DPS coming out of them. And it costs these ships nothing to fire because they're so efficient. One of the Coyotes is in a little bit of trouble. It's lost its engines, but the sheer swarm of missiles is actually keeping it pretty safe. Ruth is down, and now it's just cleanup. Still no meaningful damage taken by either of these fleets. They are completely intact. Most of their ships are basically unscathed. There is a Mudskipper Mark II that's taking a fair chunk of damage, and I'm pretty sure most of that is just from malfunctions. Here we have, oh, it's the Luddic Path. There's a Prey Bird, Bruin, Striker, Bitzer, Mudskipper Mark IIIs, oh gosh, Maraca. I don't recognize half of these. But they're really not long for this world. There's so many missiles coming out. That Prey Bird is really pushing hard. It might actually take out one of these Zebus. Really, yep, one of the Zebus is down. Prey Bird is absorbing a decent amount of fire. I guess it's got some pretty decent shields that it can absorb all of these Jerichos. Unfortunately, oh my goodness! That's so much fire from the chemrails. Holy shit! Immediate violence. The Maraca is down. What is coming for our fourth wave? They're 4 waves in. They've lost only 1 ship. Looks like these are the remnants we're seeing. Fulgent, Scintilla, Lumens, Glimmers, normal stuff. Really was expecting to see a capital ship somewhere. There's an Apex and a Brilliant over there, but I don't think they stand a chance against a 3 capital ship fleet, even if one of them's only a Prometheus. Now, the sheer volume of high explosive LRMs is not going to do a lot against these remnants. The chemrails and Jezzails are another matter, though. Those are going to do a lot. What can that Apex even try and do? It's not even a killer Apex. It's mostly a support ship, it looks like. Very little ship-to-ship firepower on these. And they're just getting buried in missiles. The remnants have one of the Mudskippers exploded from the constant malfunctions. The remnants have very efficient shields, but they just can't stand up to this volume of missiles. Never mind the chemrails. Once the armor cracks on these things, the chemrails are going to eat them alive. Wave 5, we have a singular 14th onslaught. That it? No, there's a pair of 14th legions. Another Mudskipper has malfunctioned to death. Point defense onslaught knows what he's here to do. Still cannot stop the sheer volume of missiles coming at him. onslaught is down. And now it's just these two legions. I really don't know what these legions are gonna do. Wow, I mean, they're just gonna get buried in missiles and die, it looks like. The Swarmers already have their fighters pretty well covered. Like, they'd be a serious threat to these unshielded Zebus if there weren't so many Swarmers around. One Legion is down, now we just finish off the last one. There's another wave. More pirates. Couple of pirates up here. Couple of pirates over here. More pirates down here. Oh no, these are church. These aren't pirates. Well, there's a bit of both, it looks like. That is, quite the heavily armed Prometheus. Another Mudskipper has malfunctioned to death. Brigand is down. Liberator is a lot of firepower. It actually kills one of the Mudskippers before it can malfunction to death. It looks like it's going to take one of the Zebus with it. It is taking a lot of punishment, though, and those chemrails are going to do pretty horrible. Yep, there they go. Look at that all drop. Yeah, a lot more tonnage in this wave, but I'm just not sure they're going to be able to get any kills. Coyote's really just shutting down that Mule Mark III over there. Ruin goes down. Prometheus Mark III is just going to get swarmed by these Coyotes, most likely. There is still a Hammerhead up here. Still a Subjugator trying to go toe-to-toe with one of these Coyotes. Might take it out. Might not, because the Murder Hobo is right there. Oh no, it gives its side to the Murder Hobo. It's not going anywhere. Chewed up and spat out by those chemrails. Very, very light casualties. They lost a Mudskipper, a Zebu, 4 Mudskippers, so 2 of them survived. Though, so, all right. Should be a single Tesseract wave. I can definitely vibe with that. So, 17,000 points from our first fleet. This is, certainly going to be a tournament. Do we want to do anything about these waves? I think we'll run through the other matches, and that'll give Nuck time to figure out what they want to do here. So for our next team, we have Lightning Cutie and Hrothgar Heavenlight. So let's take a look. Got a sorry, I've lost my train of thought here. Safety precaution advised, and Mercenary Incorporated Naval Authority. So we've got the Bun, a Manticore, Heavy Bombards, Watha DEMs, Light Needlers, and a single Vulcan Cannon. Reach SRM Autoloaders. Interesting. Got a couple Janes, the Essence of Salt. More Zebus, these time with Hornets and Hooks, which are, like upgraded Talons. We have another variant of the Zebu with ECM instead of the Hooks, and Pylums instead of the Tornadoes. They all have shield generators. Tracker. Broadside Sharpshooters. CM Nav Relay. Tracker Swap, okay. That is a Hammer Torpedo. Right, these are the really scary bombers. More Hornet Zebus. We've got some Infernal Concentrator Sunders. Oh yeah, baby, here we go. IR Auto Lances, Automated Repair Units, Resistant Flux Conduits, Armored Weapon Mounts. Hello, Zethiel! What does a tournament entail? So, what a tournament entails, in this case, we have 5 teams of 2 players, who have each submitted a fleet to face off against 6 waves of AI opponents. Currently, the AI waves are a little bit undertuned, but we're just gonna run it while the tournament organizer figures out what they want to do. And thank you so much for the sub. Yeah, the Infernal Concentrator is gonna be outstanding to see in action. A Dual Reaper Monitor, okay. Yep.
Ahoy, Captain. How goes the run? What does the tournament entail?
It's so delayed. Anyways. Another monitor, more of these Zebus, more Janes. Lot of interceptors, a lot of bombers from Safety Precaution Advised. Mercenary Incorporated Naval Autonomy. We have a Demour Liberator. It's got more hooks, a lot of hypervelocities, heavy bombards. Alright. The Ramallah, a hugger. It's got some Unsgiaths. Alright. Gambit with more heavy bombards. More hypervelocities. I think there's a theme here. Some Merchant Marine Ventures. More Jerichos, Toother autocannons, and a heavy burst PD. Merchant Marine gives 200 points of armor with a 10% reduction to speed and maneuverability. And then there's a single Hecate with a pair of ion cannons. So, get in it. So, it seems pretty obvious that they're going to clear these waves pretty easily. Especially with the volume of missiles coming out on this first wave. The first wave is bigger than some of the later waves, actually. But there's so many high explosive missiles coming out on these on these first waves that I don't think they really stand a chance without shields. Although the lack of ECCM may make it a little bit easier for them to evade some of these missiles and put out some fire in return. See if that results in anything for them, though. Oh, that Infernal Concentrator. First wave is typically the most dangerous for the freighter fleet here, as they're not quite, like, unified with their defense fleet yet. So they are kind of hanging out in the breeze. However, there is just a massive amount of firepower coming out of these freighters. So, against shieldless derelicts, they're not really in trouble. Just kind of chewing through these big bricks here. Oh my goodness. What was that? So, our second wave, this is gonna be the pirate wave. Hold on. The alert sounds kind of obnoxious. So, our small pirate wave, oh, they did catch some of these Janes immediately with the cruiser half of this wave. So they might be able to put some damage down. But there's not a lot of firepower on this brigantine. It does take one of the Janes down. The Bruth? Yeah, the Bruth. Brigantine going for another one of the Janes, able to get some serious damage down with the hammer barrage. Takes 2 Janes and a Zebu down. Finally, seeing some damage coming out from the waves. The Zebus, even with makeshift shields, they just aren't able to stand up to these torpedoes. But the rest of the fleet is starting to come around. Ramallah yanking that Marauder out of position, tore apart by the Zebus, and the Infernal Concentrator bores through the Brigantine. Ruth is getting distracted by one of the monitors. I don't think it's going to find a solution to this monitor before it dies of torpedoes to the ass. And here they come already. Trackers coming in, firing their torpedoes. Infernal Concentrator trying to take through that roamer. So much damage output from the Infernal Concentrator. Straight through the hull. Ruth is down. Roamer is down. Alright, our third wave. This is the Luddic Path wave. This was the only wave to score a freighter kill in the last match. Or at least a Zebu kill. The Mudskippers, it's kind of hard to track what died to what. But we'll see if the Prey Bird can repeat its display from the last match. Looks like the Kite actually takes out one of the Zebus. And they've got this Prometheus hanging out in the breeze. What are they gonna be able to capitalize and kill it? Baraka is trying to go for one of the Zebus, doing some decent damage, overextending mad into their fleet to try and get the kill on this Zebu. But I think it is gonna get it. Yep, Zebu is down. Another Zebu going down to the Prey Bird. Striker exchanging some fire with the Venture, but I don't think it really stands a chance in that matchup. Prey Bird going to take another one of the Janes. Losing those Janes does hurt the damage output of this team's fleets, because those Janes are bomber carriers in this fleet. But luckily, the fleet is able to rally and encircle the Prey Bird, and it goes down without much fuss. Now there is just a Panther Condor, which I don't think stands much of a chance. Monitor whiffs both of its torpedoes. You hate to see it, folks. But the Condor pops, and next we move on to our... what is this one? The Remnant Wave? Yeah, this is the Remnant Wave. Fairly small wave. Their actual damage output is on the lighter side over here, while the heavier ships are mostly support vessels. So I'm not sure what they're going to do against a fleet like this. If the Fulgent can stay out of trouble, which the Infernal Concentrator decrees that it will not. Yeah, Infernal Concentrator just takes it right out. Over here, the frigates have been swiftly cleaned up by all the fighters. The frigates just don't stand a chance against this many interceptors. The Brilliant might be a threat if it doesn't get immediately logged by this fucking Gambit, which it does. And that leaves basically just this Apex, which doesn't have any strong anti-ship weapons. It's basically just ion beams and missiles. Which might be good if there was a fleet backing it up, but there isn't anymore. So it's just dying to 1,000 cuts from these interceptors. Good God. The bees. Next, our 14th wave, wave 5, a single onslaught and a pair of legions. You still want to play through these original waves, Nuck, or do you want me to just update the waves and start over now? Onslaught, mostly a PD fit. It's all Devastators. It actually doesn't have any ship weapons except for its DPCs, actually, now that I look at it. I couldn't get a good look at it in the last wave match because it just got buried in missiles so fast. Heavy bombards chewing through that onslaught. Really doesn't stand a chance against this much HE damage. But how are things going down here? Well, the Hecate has died to one of the legions. One of the Sunders could be in trouble. They're trying to bore through that legion. Oh no, it's burn driving into the Infernal Concentrator. No! The Legion also doesn't have any ship weapons, actually, except for its missiles. So with the fighters so comprehensive, hold on. With the fighters so comprehensively shut down, there's just nothing for it. It just doesn't do anything. Alright, time for our last wave. This is the vaguely hard one, where the Path and the Pirates and the Church, I think, have teamed up to try and put some hurt on the enemy. Orion Drive Venture. Blood help us. Come on, fire the hammers! Oh, it had that Zebu dead to rights, just wouldn't fire. Poor Manticore. All right, we have a Brigand over here. Again, it's all PD. They're they really like PD, these ships. Ruin has got a lot of hammers, but that's just kind of normal for Pather ships. Another Jane goes down. The Venture might be about to pop. If that next Reaper can connect. Nope, it hits shields. The Hammerhead waits too long to fire and misses out on the kill. Kruin might be able to snag it if it fires its secondary hammers, which it does. Venture goes down. Another Zebu goes down. Auto Pulse Sunder coming in. Ooh. Burst fire on those mining blasters. terrifying. Another Zebu goes down. They are chewing through this wave very effectively, but it is giving not quite as good as it's getting, but it's giving. Well, Kruin is down, Hammerhead is down, Brave is down, Sunder is down, and I don't think that Subjugator is long for this world, with an Infernal Concentrator boring through it from behind. A lot of damage. Down goes the Subjugator. And that just leaves the Liberator, which is fluxed out currently. How are you fluxed out? You only have PD weapons. Yeah, there goes the Liberator. Glorious victory. It does have Thumpers, too. Thumpers are PD weapons with bad targeting. So, I am going to, I'm going to reset all of the scores. We're going to go to BRB while I apply this new fleet, or these new enemy waves, and then we will be right back to run all of these through again. Okay. Alright. So, fleets have been updated. I tested to make sure that they are spawning correctly. So, let's actually do this one more time. Welcome to Tournament 28. Alright, so, for our first match, we have the Bemperor. He's back. This is Pyrophage and Pixie Code against, it's still the... Gotta go through the loadouts again? No, we're not going through the loadouts again. But we now have a pincer of derelicts coming from both above and below. Unfortunately, I think that we're just going to see a repeat of what happened the first time. There is just too much high explosive fire coming out of these ships, especially Zebus. They're just going to chew through these derelicts. Some of the ships from down below might manage to make contact, but I strongly doubt it. Ultra caliber chemrails chewing through that rampart up there. Just look at the kill feed. Absolutely obliterating these derelicts. They don't stand a chance. And it's really just a matter of time, a matter of how long it takes to clean them up. These fleets are on the clock though. Their peak performance time is ticking down. If they can't take care of these derelicts fast enough, it could bite them in later waves. But, as I said, there's just so much high explosive damage coming out of these Jericho launchers. I think they will clean these up in probably the next 10 to 20 seconds. I'd be very surprised if it takes them any amount of time to clean up these first two waves. Coyotes swarming around this rampart, very, very cleverly staying out of the way of the ultra caliber chemrails. Big fire coming out. There's just a sentry hanging out down here. Alright, so our second wave is coming in. There are some Zebus way out of position. However... Alright, so these fleets are now mirrored. That could be a problem on the Remnant wave, because it means that Apex that I was talking about, how it needs a fleet to support it, it's got a fleet to support it now. Bits are already down. Just a wall of Zebus here in between the warships and the enemy. So we'll see if the Zebus take any meaningful casualties. It's very possible that they do, but it's also possible that they don't, just because there's so many missiles coming out of these things. The AI is liable to shit itself and just flee in abject horror. Killskipper, again, does not do anything. The poor Killskipper. Honestly, I forgot about it. I forgot that there was a Killskipper in this fleet. It's just a heavy... It's AG only, with a pair of heavy maulers and an Annihilator. Poor little thing. Brigantine still just... The Brigantine did so well in our second match previously. Just face hugged the Zebus and started firing its hammer barrage, but it's just not doing anything here. Too afraid of the Jerichos. Ruth, I don't think is gonna be long for this world. Coyote's starting to run out of peak performance time. That is going to be a problem in the long run. If those Coyotes run out of CR, it will be refreshed between waves, but their peak performance time will not. Roamer down over here. Fuel down over here. The freighters have actually cleaned everything up without any losses. The warships, of course, did everything on their side without any issues too. Now the Pather wave. Got a Prometheus over here. The normal wave is coming down here, and it's just doubled. There are 2 prey birds. There's another Prometheus over here, but I think it is gone immediately. Another Prometheus coming from up top. They are surrounded by Promethei. However, it's not really helping out. Oh my god, the Chemtrails chewing through that prey bird. Does not stand a chance against that sort of firepower from the Nodmor. Bitzer going down. Coyotes still ticking down on their PPT. Freybirds just not getting anything done. One of them is in a position to dive on one of the Zebus, and it's almost gotten a kill. One of the Zebus is down to like 10 HP. There it goes. It finally pops. Freybird's gonna try and take another one down. I think it's gonna get it. No, it disengages. The Preybird disengages right before it secures the kill. Barber trying to do anything to this Coyote, failing miserably. Preybird has now lost its engines, disgraced Blood and yourself. Prometheus might get a kill over here just because it's gone unchecked for so long. But the Zebu is a little bit too agile and is able to disengage. The Nodmor is now just going to roll in and tear this Prometheus apart. One of the Coyotes did go down. I missed that happening. Not sure to what. And another Prometheus getting wolf-packed by these Coyotes. And down it goes. I think that is the wave. Oh, there was a single kite left. Alright, now it's time for our remnant wave. See what's gonna happen here. Normal. Normal. That's new. Boy, is that new. So we have a Dragonfire Apex with Ion Pulsar and a Mining Blaster up here. A Squall and Annihilator Radiant with auto pulses. That Radiant could be a serious problem for these Zebus. They don't have anything that they can do against that sort of firepower. And one of them is already gone. Glimmer down, Glimmer down. The Brilliant is already gone. Glimmer, Lumen. The smaller remnant ships are just dying like frogs in a blender. But that's to be expected. 2 more Zebus go down. It looks like we're going to see a 4th one go down right here to a Lumen, no less. With help from Effulgent, of course. No, the Radiant swoops in with its tack lance and swats it down. The Zebus are dropping left and right, but the Nodmor and the Murder Hobo, the Savarin, are sweeping in from the side with help from the Coyotes. I think they're just going to brush aside these remnant ships. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take them to get to that Radiant. Until they do, that Radiant is chewing through their Zebus. Oh, brave little Coyote trying to take on the Radiant by itself. Not going to go well. But the Radiant is more interested in taking out that Zebu. No, Savarin. Savarin swoops in and grabs Radiant's attention. Bigger threat, demanding an immediate response. But such a bigger threat that the Savarin kills the Radiant in seconds. Good God! That horrific damage output from these chemtrails. Another Coyote went down and missed that, but Satilla drops. What is even left? Nothing. We're clear. Now we're going to be looking for the 14th battle group wave. That's a lot of onslaughts. 4 onslaughts from the bottom, none from the top. Just 4 onslaughts, 2 legions. Now, these are the same variants. They're all PD. However, we can see that they're actually doing their job for a change and shutting down all of these missiles coming in. The problem is that you can shut down the missiles all you want. You still got to deal with the Savaran and the Nodmor. And without any sort of kinetic weapons, I don't think they're capable of it. One of the onslaughts is already down. Missiles are still coming. And every one of these ships that dies is going to be a big blow to their ability to absorb missile fire. One of the Coyotes gets bogged by... Two of the Coyotes get annihilated by those DEMs from the onslaughts. Another Coyote dies to ED from the onslaught. They're just too close. They're taking a lot of fire from the heavy machine guns at this range, and it's not doing good for their hull. One of the Legion 14s is down. We'll see if they take out any more of the Coyotes. Gorgon's putting some good damage on the Coyotes, but they're too good at disengaging. And the Onslaughts just don't have any options against these big ships. Another Onslaught goes down. The third Onslaught is running out of armor and starting to take serious damage from those Ultra-Cal chemrails. One of the Coyotes is basically on no hull left. But I don't think it's going to be punished here. No, it gets away with it. Another 3 more Coyotes do die over here. No idea what happened there. Savaran, again, just annihilating an entire ass onslaught. And now it's just a Legion. Oh my goodness. Chemrails. Another Coyote goes down. That wave took a little bit of a long time. The Coyotes started running out of CR. But now we are on our last wave. What is it gonna be? I think that this is unchanged from the way it was previously. Yes, this is the same wave that we were seeing previously. So I'm pretty sure that if they made it this far, they're going to sweep it aside pretty easily. Zebu and a Mudskipper already are down, though. It's not very cash money. Another Mudskipper dies, probably to malfunctions, honestly. Zebu down, they've pretty much annihilated this bottom insertion down here. Just because they were all already there. But can they do any damage up here? Brigand is still only PD, remember. Does take out a Zebu. 3 Zebus go down in relatively quick succession. There's another 2 Zebus going down. Devastator's doing a lot of work against these Zebus. Dropping like flies. Holy shit. The Zebus are actually dying faster than the enemy right now. It's on the Savaran to really clean up its Cruins up here. Cruins are down. Another Mudskipper goes down, though. I don't think the Savaran is really in any danger of taking damage from these ships. The question is, how many more freighters will they lose to these capital ships over here? More Zebus are going down. They're trying to take on these capital ships. It's just not working. They're getting a little bit of damage on the Brigand, but the Brigand is returning the favor. And that Liberator's Thumpers are pretty existential to unshielded ships like this. Defense pods completely could they take the Prometheus? That could be a huge blow if they lose the Prometheus here. Can they save their Prometheus? Where's the Bemperor? Your subjects need you, Bemperor. They're in danger. The Savaran is coming. But will it get there in time? Most likely, it looks like the Liberator is just venting. The Liberator is not really going for the Prometheus. The perfect opportunity to, but it's just not going for it. 2 more Coyotes go down. More Zebus dying left, right, and center. But the Brigand does not get a kill on that last Zebu, and I don't think the Liberator is going to get the Prometheus. The Emperor swoops in at the last second as it quarters the Prometheus, starts firing away. With help from the Savaran, the Liberator goes down. Glorious victory. 22 and 44% of their fleets remaining. Oh my goodness. So how many Zebus do they have left? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 Zebus remaining. So, let me adjust my tally here. No Mudskippers survived. So, down from 17,000 points to 11,000 points, largely thanks to that Prometheus surviving. That's almost 4,000 points in and of itself. However, that is still a very high score. That actually just kind of knocks out 2 players immediately who will not be able to beat that. Next up, we have Lightning Cutie and Hrothgar Heavenlight again. So, very similar fleet to the last one. Let's see how they get on. Counted a Mudskipper? I thought the Mudskipper was, from the combat fleet. And all 5 of the Mudskippers for the freighter fleet were gone. And we know how it goes. They're just derelicts, folks. They don't really stand a chance here. They can fire whatever missiles they want. One of the Zebus is already down. Wait a second. Sorry, I mentally clocked out because it's just derelicts. But one of the Zebus is already gone. Oh my goodness. The Rampart from the bottom managed to kill one of the Zebus. Because there's nothing over here fighting it except trackers and a monitor. Alright, well, they lost a Zebu. Not a very good start for round 1, but fleet is otherwise still holding together. That Venture is at risk of taking a lot of damage from that Rampart, though. That would be really ugly for round 1. The Ramallah is also taking damage from another Rampart. Damage on warships this early is not a good look for these fleets. No warship losses, though. Only a single Zebu down on round 1. However, how much stronger these waves are, we could see a lot more losses on these next few waves. Hecate also took a lot of damage there. Marauder getting yanked in, at risk of taking a lot of damage. Oh, the Infernal Concentrator. Down goes the Marauder. Bitzer down. Brigantine very exposed here. Not where it wants to be. Going to get tore apart. Yep, there it goes. However, over here, oh my goodness, the freighters! Somebody left the freighters unsupervised! What's going on? The cattle rustlers are here! One of the Ventures has gone down. They've already lost a warship. Oh, sorry. Another Zebu about to go down to the Brigands. So much damage coming out on these freighters over here. The Brigantine. Brigantine's got 3 freighters around it. It's a shooting gallery. And the Kill Skipper's doing something too. The Kill Skipper doesn't need high explosive. It doesn't need kinetic damage. The shields on these Janes are just that weak. The Zebus and Janes are dropping like flies. I'm taking so many casualties to this wave. Oh, the Venture valiantly trying to save the Zebu from that Bruce. But I think the Bruce wins in a fight. Especially with the Brigantine backing it up, that Venture could just get itself killed. Where is their capital ship? All the way over here fighting a Marauder with the Ramallah. The Ramallah doesn't have a lot of steam left in it either. Infernal Concentrator coming out on the Brigand. Whoa, one of the Reapers does hit home. Ooh, good damage from the Infernal Concentrator. Brigantine goes down. Zebu's starting to run out of CR though. It's not good. It's bleak. Sweeping across the Bruce with the Infernal Concentrator, and the Bruce goes down. There goes the Mudskipper. Is there anything left? Just a roamer that's roamed all the way to the bottom of the field. It's waiting for the ships to rally around and take it down. That quick tap with the Infernal Concentrator. Oh, the damage output. Now the Pathers. Now there's a big contingent of them down here that could be a problem to deal with. But there's also a lot of Prometheus just all around. Greybird's going in on the Zebus. Another Jane goes down. Ramallah trying to get a kill on this Striker. Perfectly positioned for the Sunder to finish off, but the Sunder decides better of it for whatever reason, and the missiles get it anyways. Venture just hanging out in the breeze. What are you doing, buddy? Sunder trying to bail its ass out of the fire. Without much luck, there's just too many ships that are too fast for the Infernal Concentrator to focus on. Good damage output, but I think that Venture might not be long for this world as the Nebula closes in on it. The frigates have it surrounded. It's going to be a death by 1,000 cuts, but definitely a death. One of the Sunders is down. Zebu is down. The battle line has just completely collapsed. Where is that Liberator? Liberator trying to do anything at all. It's got powerful standoff weapons, but the battle is just taking place so far away from it. Venture goes down, another Jane goes down. Nebula dies, luckily. Monitor is still holding valiantly, but there's just nothing left around it. Gambits and the Liberator have rallied, and they're gonna try and clean this shit up. They gotta tackle this Prometheus first and foremost. And they're just struggling with the armor on it. Not a common issue you have fighting Promethei. But, oh my goodness, this fleet has collapsed so hard that 2 of the Promethei have leaked up. Liberator and the Gambits have their work cut out for them if they want to even survive this. Never mind save any of their freighters. The heavy bombards don't friendly fire? Oh my goodness. I was about to say, massive friendly fire onto that Gambit, but they don't friendly fire. Zebu's continuing to drop like flies all around. There's very little left of the freighter contingent of this fleet. But they just have to take this one step at a time, clean these things up one ship at a time. Another Prometheus goes down. Luckily, the non-combat fleet still has their Prometheus, so that is 4,000 points right there. And there's still a couple of Zebus, a couple of Janes. They could pull through with a score. Not a high score, but a score. One of the scores of all time. Their contingent of interceptors has been seriously compromised. Unfortunately, this Maraca doesn't have any weapons left except a pair of jackhammers that are out of ammo. Very funny. It just doesn't get to do anything anymore. But it does take the Zebu with it when it dies. Okay, now we have the dreaded Remnant Wave. Fairly small contingent over here. Very realistic that they just squish it immediately. And in fact, that would probably be the best outcome for this fleet. If they just are able to squish this flank of the fleet before any of the others make contact. Because otherwise they are in serious danger from that Radiant. It's too late, the frigates are here, and they're tearing through the Zebus again. Liberator swiftly pivoting, just ignoring the Scintilla. It's a problem for tomorrow, Liberator. No, wait, it took care of one Lumen, and now it's back on that Scintilla. Suddenly very concerned about the capabilities of a carrier here, again. I don't think that Scintilla can take much punishment from the Liberator, luckily. But I'm not really worried about the Scintilla. I think there's bigger threats here. Another Jane goes down. Monitor trying to form a one-ship battle line here. Manticore going toe-to-toe with a Brilliant. Not a great idea, to be honest with you. Radiant still just running amok. Starting to square up against that Liberator. We might see the Liberator die here. Infernal Concentrator on the Fulgent, doing some good damage. But it leaves that Sunder very fragile, very exposed, and it takes a Reaper for its trouble. Radiant out of position somehow within PD range of the Liberator. If that Liberator was using light dual machine guns instead of Vulcans, it could have had some serious damage output onto that Radiant. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's going to do anything to the Radiant. No, the Radiant's shields are just too powerful. It armor tanks a good chunk of damage, but it doesn't actually accrue any hard flux as a result of all this. The other Sunder is down, and I think with that Sunder, any hope for this fleet has ultimately died. The rest of their non-combat ships are falling apart. They've been split in half by the Radiant, and they're being picked apart. Can the Liberator even finish off this Brilliant is the question now, though. It's been overloaded by a Reaper. Here come missiles. A lot of Sabos. Weird choice now that the shields are gone. But now that it's overloaded, I just don't think it's going to get to do anything, even once it comes back. No, it's completely surrounded. The Liberator is going down. Down she goes. And the Prometheus will not be far behind. Taking Dragonfire damage. It'd be very poetic if the Prometheus was the last ship to die here, but I think that Jane might actually outlive it. Never mind, the Radiant swooped in. The Prometheus is the last ship remaining, and I don't a bit of a hunch, I don't think it's going to clear this wave. Down it goes. It has never been so Jover, folks. Lightning Cutie and Hrothgar Heavenlight score nothing. Next up, we have Forest Fighters and Idiopathic. So we have a Tachocline class with a Positron Blast Gun, a Ton Morax, a quartet of Ton Morax, a Plasma Flamer, and an empty large energy hardpoint.
Read the names of the spades.
Oh no. Oh god. It's a Rickroll. Oh, I moused over the officer details. I moused over the officer details. Oh, and,
We all know you did that to dodge the Rickroll.
So true. I've been ambushed by foul invention twice. Alright. Okay, so we got safety overrides, front shield conversion for a 360-degree bubble shield, stabilized shields, and flux distributor. The Rickroll spades are all Jericho carriers with makeshift shields and trowels. A light assault gun and a Pummerer carbine. Good god. For 0 ordnance points, you get a Pummerer? Aww. That's horrific! And expanded cargo holds. Not a lot of cargo capacity on these things, only 60. But dear god, there are a lot of them. It's still going, folks. It's still going. Oh no. Oh no. That's so many Prometheuses. So 6, 3, 6, 9, 10 Promethei. Oh. And all of the Promethei have 4 trowels.
Prometheus is love, Prometheus is life.
That's a lot of trowels. Just a lot of trowels. So for Idiopathic's fleet, we have, a pair of identical Tachoclines. And then a bunch of Razorbacks with Jacanas, Tornado Hornets, and Target Assist Beams. Huh. Weaken ships against owner attack. So it causes the missiles to do more damage and more trowels. More trowels. It's all trowels. Oh no. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this first wave's gonna do so hot. Forest has simply declared new rule, 500 trowels until you die. Secondary rule, 50 spades until you die. Combat endurance, field modulation, missile spec, and ordnance. Oh, my frame. Oh! Now, If something is able to get amongst those spades, they will die. They do not stand a ghost of a chance. However, looking at the kill feed, that's a big if. This is actually a fleet that might have a really bad time with the 14 battle group wave, just because there's so many devastators in it, and they're so concentrated. Prowls are doing a little bit of work. There's just a lot of them, and I think as there are more and more of them, they're going to do more and more and more work. And it's going to get spooky, folks. We're gonna see some dumb shit today. Alright, that is wave 1 pretty much cleared out. Another rampart down. What are those torpedoes? Those are Ton Moors. Those are Bulltox, souped up hammers. So, first up, we've got our pirate fleet here. I do not expect anything from this pirate fleet. Like, they're kind of just meat for the trowels. Now, it's possible they could take one of these Promethei over here. The Promethei do have flamers and point defense lasers, though. So, we'll see how they do. Prometheus already in trouble. However, it looks like the hammer barrage has been disabled by the sheer swarm of trowels, so it doesn't get a second barrage to overload and slam that Prometheus. Oh my god, the Ton Moors come out of that tactic line. The freight train. One entire flank has already been cleared out, and the other flank is not far behind. They just aren't in any danger here. I don't think the Pather fleet is really going to have any luck against them either, just because the trowels are going to encircle them so rapidly. Like, the trowels are very slow and fragile, and that's kind of their Achilles heel. But otherwise, just the sheer number of them, and then having a light assault gun, they're gonna do some serious, serious damage. Never Gonna Make You Cry is running out of PPT. That is another thing that is liable to really cause problems for these spades, is their low performance time. And here come the Pathers. Are the Pathers going to be able to, like, penetrate their formation at all? Like, this bottom flank is relatively open. Just, if they're gonna focus on the tactical lines, they're not gonna get anything done. Let's get Mark III already down, but they are quickly descending over here. I'm gonna see if they're able to put any damage down before the trowels clean them up. Looks like one of the Razorbacks might pop to the striker. No, the Greybird as well. One of the Razorbacks is down. That's not a big blow, but it sure is a blow. Another one of the Razorbacks is now in danger. Another Razorback goes. 2 Razorbacks are down, but that looks to be all that they managed to do. They can afford to lose the Razorbacks. The Razorbacks are the warships of this fleet. So losing them is not a huge blow. Oh my goodness, these Ton Moors. no casualties on the spades. Oh my god, the ton more! The ton more! The ton more just friendly fired like a dozen spades! Oh my god! Oh. The strength of the tactical lines backfires. 10% of the entire freighter fleet just went up in smoke. Oh my goodness! Alright, wave 4. It's time for the Remis. What do the Remis have in store for these guys? How many of them can the Radiant sweep before the Tacticlines send on it? Probably not many, because the Tacticlines do have safety overrides. They are schmovin'. They just gotta, like, navigate through the fleet first. Mars. The spade goes down to... I don't think that one was even enemy action. I think the Lumen dying just splashed it. Another spade goes down, presumably actually to enemy action somewhere over here. Brilliant, trying to descend on these spades. Yeah, because the spades just flux out so quickly. The tack lances bypass their shields, is what it looks like. Assuming the tack lances are able to make contact with so many missiles and fighters in the way. Radiant trying to pin down one of these Prometheus might actually get it too. Oh, the flash bombers. One of the Prometheus is down. That's 4,000 points up in smoke. Flash bombers could be very effective against this fleet too. Oh, the Ton Mars! Radiant is shrugging them off, though. But there's always more of them. There's so many of them. Another rogue Ton Moore flying into the fleet does not detonate, though. The Tacticlines are so fast that they occasionally encircle around enemy ships and just fire Ton Moores at their own fleet. Actually more of a threat to the spades than any enemy so far. Just an Apex left, and it's just getting bombed by Prometheus. Where are the Tacticlines? Oh, ramming a spade to death is where they are. Yep. Never gonna make you cry, got rammed to death. And here comes the 14th battle group wave. This is the one that I think is going to be scary for him. Well, it's going to be scary for the Trowels. I don't know if it's going to be scary for the Tacticlines. I think the Tacticlines are still going to sweep house here, because these are exclusively PD onslaughts. They just don't have any options against anything bigger than these Trowels. Well, I say anything, actually no, anything bigger than these spades. Speaking of the spades, another spade has been rammed to death. Because the Tacticlines are actually just more of a threat to their own fleet than they are the enemy. Or sorry, they're more of a threat to their own fleet than the enemy is to his. Good God. I stand corrected. The Devastators might work against the Trowels, but they sure don't work against the Ton Moores. All this PD, and it just isn't enough. There's too many Tonmors. There goes a Legion. More Tonmors. Always more. The Legion is actually being overwhelmed by the volume of Trowels. But the Legion was never really equipped to take on this many Trowels in the first place. The Onslaughts are the ones with the Devastators, and they have just been torn apart by these tactical lines. I stand corrected. Complete sweep. And our final wave. Remember, this is unchanged from how it was originally. I think we've seen the end of Idiopathic's losses here. Unless there is another friendly fire incident. Which is always possible. Another Spade goes down. But the Tonmors quickly sweep up the southern flank. Oh! Another cluster of Spades die all at once. What are the capital ships going to even do here? I don't think they're going to get much done before the tactical lines descend on them, but good God. They're firing off torpedoes and none of them are actually connecting because there's so many Prowls in the way. Did get one of the Spades. The tactical lines have now engaged. Brigand already gone. Liberator, obviously not long for this world. These tactical lines have not taken any meaningful damage the entire battle. I'm not sure anything has even been able to threaten these tactical lines in a one-on-one. Actually unstoppable ships. It doesn't look, yeah. The tactical lines will have inflicted more casualties on both fleets than everything else combined. Glorious victory. How many Spades did they lose? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 Spades. Oh my God. And, well, I mean, technically, there's still so much capacity left in these Promethei that Forrest and Idio have won. However, we're here to watch ships blow up. We've still got 2 more teams. But, the Tonmors, they have, like, I got 3,000 damage, 1,500 EMP damage. But they generate flux when you fire them. They do energy damage, so they're good against shields, and they only have 5 shots. Terrific. Alright, so next we have Big Beans and Maratusa with Green, and Hotworks and other big jerks. So, Terranxian with hammer barrages, heavy auto cannons, a Teotha plasma cannon, Mark 9. This is just a normal fit. Just a normal looking ship. Normal. Unsgiaths, Blacks, Thumpers, a lot of Reliance, Contenders, some Reapers, you know, normal stuff. It's got heavy armor, collapsed cargo holds. A decent amount of cargo, it looks like. 500, so... extra 500 armor points. That's pretty good. A pair of Accipiters, railguns, pulse lasers, anti-Ms, ultralight periodolas. Oh, those are high explosive guns. And Hornets. Okay. Okay. Bitzer? Question mark? No shield. Reinforced bulkheads, rugged construction, unstable injector, light dual, light assault gun. So no PD either, except for its Bitzer drones. There's a Coyote, normal looking Coyote, mini blasters, Typhoons, Sabos, heavy blasters. The Magic School Bus Adventurer class. Elbor with some Dusters, Hypervelocities, more Unsgiaths, Beegs. Normal stuff, normal stuff. BBS, that guy you hate. It's a Jezzail Zap Reaper Kite. A bull. A bull in a China shop, and a China in a bull shop. We got a pair of bulls. With Jezzails, tack lasers, and tornado launchers. Tarsus, a lot of Tarsi. With Palt autocannons and Reliant HMGs, as well as some breaker drones. More Ventures. Ugh. Particle streamers, haven't seen those in a while. We got a pair of Covetors with ion beams and Jezzails. Okay, okay. I'm actually not sure which one of these is the non-combat fleet. Breaches, mini blasters on a Tungustan, as well as a pair of defense pods. High scatter amplifier, hardened shields, fighter clamps, ITU with the impulse beam array, 1800 range kinetic beam, gyro jet spam enforcers. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah. Overcharge mining lasers, mining hybridization amplifiers. Hybrid beam weapons deal hard flux. But he didn't use regular well, I mean, I guess they do still have mining lasers. I just feel like there are better for this. Isn't there one with like a mining array? Yeah, Takers. I feel like Takers would have been a slightly better choice, but wow. So overcharged mining lasers, salamanders. Calicos are pretty alright. We got a hammerhead with a cobble gun. Heavy mortar, annihilator rockets, railguns, ballistic rangefinder, escort package. That is 20% range boost. Holy shit. %, actually. If they're near the Terranxian. Or the Adventurer. Alright, alright. Alright, so let's see what's gonna happen here. Very interested in how those Tungustans and Forcers do. But there's a fairly normal fleet. Hold on. Oh, those are just the fighters. I was about to say, purple engine trails. Hold on, I'm having flashbacks. Oh, that coyote's already in trouble. Coyote already took a lot of damage. A Sipiter taking some punishment too. Adventurer doing what it can down here. Adventurer's a pretty good platform though. Is it as good as all of these derelicts combined? I don't think so. Yeah, Adventurer is overextended and unsupported. The Bitzer is already down. The Kite is already down. Thuringian is holding well. Adventurer is gone. Wave 1, and they have already lost one of their capital ships. Chat, we've reached levels of over previously not thought possible. The Coyote is down. Both of the Bulls are down. However, I think those are gonna be the only casualties that are gonna have to face this round. Gyrojet spam, doing some good work here. Oh, nope, a Coveter went down. A Sipiter might be about to go down to this Rampart here. Or is that a Berserker? No, that is a Rampart. I can never tell them apart. They're just bricks. Oh my god! Gustin just shoves the sentry.
This is compared to previous fleet, fit in the society or be happy, and win. Meme.
Alright. Now we're just cleaning up Krasny Kavkaz. Looks like the last meaningful ship here. There's still a little shit over here. Yeah, there's still a sentry active. The Gorgon rack that's empty. Oh, there was another one with an empty rack. What are they gonna... Oh, here we go. Alright, sentry is down. The fleet is a little bit strung out, though. It's compressed at the end of the wave. Here come the pirates. Immediately savaging the Tarsus with that brigantine. Not even using its torpedoes. Tarsus is down. Counter torpedoes coming out on the brigantine. Down it goes. Thuringian gets a good kill on that bastard. Mule down, ass down. Kill Skipper probably not long for this world either. Yep, there it goes. Thuringian outputting very good damage here. A lot of casualties already for the combat fleet, but the Thuringian is holding them together. A Sipiter goes down. Actually, no, wait, the Thuringian's from the non-combat fleet, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh, no, that's even worse. Both of the Accipiters are down, actually. Thuringian struggling to hold things together. Venture hanging on for dear life over here against that brigantine. It needs the Thuringian to turn around and bail it out. Hammerhead goes down. 4 casualties. The last thing this fleet needs to be facing right now. There goes the Venture. Houston is being blocked by that little piece of debris. Here comes the kill skipper. Gonna try and get something done. It's gonna get slapped by a Teopa is what it's gonna do. The Gustans are doing their job now that the fleet is a little bit smaller and they can cover it better, of just shoving around the enemy. Marauder getting into the Turingsian's rear hard. Just doesn't really help though. Marauder's just too small to do anything with that. Completely whiffed 2 gyrojet barrages. Roamer is down. Shepard is down over here. That leaves just the Snathod, which doesn't look like it's having a fun time against this Covetor. Oh, wait, no. There's also a Mudskipper Mark II with a Hydra launcher that's almost killed the Covetor. Oh my god! Turingsian. Very good kinetic output from the Hammerheads, at least. Doing a lot of work for this fleet. Fleet just kind of having a problem where its dedicated warships are doing a lot of work, but its hybrid warships are really struggling. Now we fight the Pathers. 1 million years Gulag, already down. Nebula down. Luckily, they were all pretty high up, so they're going to finish off one of the weaker arms of this wave. Big damage coming out onto that Prometheus. Down it goes, but they are making contact with the freighters down here. That is problems. Down it goes. Yep, the Tarsi have been cleaned up. Freybirds just kind of going to town on these Hammerheads now. Turingsian is doing some very good damage here to this fleet, but they're just kind of overrunning the player fleets here. And I worry that now that Turingsian is starting to get encircled, these jackhammers are going to do a lot of work against its exposed flanks. It's a very narrow shield. And frankly, not a lot of PD. Got Maraca getting around into its back arc. Hammerhead coming around to try and claw it out. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Another Hammerhead goes down. One of the Tungustans is down to the Freybirds. I think this is going to be it. Vanquished by Wave 3. Both fleets at less than 40% strength. Another Hammerhead goes down. The Calico is down. Turingsian trying desperately to hold on. Takes one of the strikers out. Another broadside of hammers, but it shrugs it off. Such a powerful ship. More hammers coming in, though. Venture is down. Tungustan struggling. Not long for this world, though. Turingsian trying to take down one of the Promethei with it. I don't think it's got enough wind left in it unless it uses its hammer barrages more aggressively. Fires off the hammer barrages and they just hit fighters. Turingsian is gone, and that leaves just a single Tarsus. single Tarsus, a single Hammerhead. There goes the Hammerhead, and the Tarsus is the last ship to fall on Wave 3. And that brings us to our last team. Stay Frosty and Nuck. So, for Stay Frosty, we have Prometheus Mark IIs, Mark IIIs, not using any of their broadside mounts, just heavy autocannons, Hephaestus, Locust SRMs, Sarissas, and Hammer Carriers. Pirate modifications, vast hangar. Oh boy. Oh, those are converted hangars. Officer details, that's a different icon, and I'm not going to mouse over it. This is just a normal onslaught. Hephaestuses, Hellbores, Needlers, autocannons, Pylums. Normal. Extended shields, resistant flux conduits, flux distributor, hardened shields, stabilized shields, and ITU. Lot into the shields on this onslaught, and I'm not sure it's gonna matter, because it's just gonna flux out on its own guns. An enforcer with double SRMs and breaches, or double sabos and double breaches. Vulcans, a pummerer carbine. Okay. Heavy autocannons. Converted hangar for Talons, heavy armor. Alright. We've got a Venture, ECCM, missile autoloader on Harpoons. Okay, fair enough. Ion Beam, good support ship. We've got a bunch of Tarsi, IPDAI, converted hangar for Talons, reinforced bulkheads, Mercuries. Okay, fairly unremarkable. A Mendicant. Bunch of Mendicants. A trio of Mendicants. This must be a Catter fleet. That's fresh. We got a trio of Mendicants. Jezebel spike torpedoes, Jezzails and burst fissions. Alright. And of course they have a bunch of stat adjustments. Guardian Engineering, 500 hull integrity, up to 1500 for a shuttle. 250 armor for a shuttle. These are all flat bonuses. They get really silly on these tiny ships. Center drive units feature rear focus thrust vectoring, reducing turn speed by 25% and increasing fuel consumption by 0.5 per light year. So that's also pretty dramatic. And a improved Omni Shield, 1.0 efficiency, 130 degree arc, and an upkeep cost equal to 60% of base dissipation. So then we've got Hyenas with heavy Jezzail batteries, another Jezebel, and a Sling ADS pod. These have Forever War engineering instead of the Guardian engineering. So same 500 hull integrity, 100 armor points, increasing speed by 10 at a cost of 50% maneuverability. Okay. But the shield is 1.2, so that's not great. Also a very high upkeep. We've got a Buzzard. Another trio of Buzzards. Takana Spike Pods. Chemrail. pair of Jezzails. These have Guardian targeting auxiliaries. 50% more range for all weapons. Kinda wacky. Trio of Camels. These have fission howitzers. More burst fission Sea Whiz. More Jezebels. More Jezzail flechette drivers. A pair of Sunbirds. Unlimited missile works. Reloads the ship's missile weapons, builds a considerable amount of flux, has a long activation time, and disables weapons and shields while using. So it has a trio. It has a pair of medium and then a pair of small Jamadar MRT racks. So these are 900 damage torpedoes. And I really don't like that they are asymmetrical. It's gonna bug me. Termite kinetic drones with light volley drivers, which are pretty short-ranged, but they are PD weapons. And then it's got some slings, you know, built-in ECCM. And then there's a Prophet. Oh. I do like the Prophet. That's a lot of Jezebels. That's a lot of Jezebels, though. Oh. 1-to-1. 1-to-1 dissipation and flux. We got crystal resonant splinter guns, Jezzail flechettes, Paladin PDs. Unfortunately, it's not quite flux neutral because of the shield upkeep. But, oh. Unfortunately, it is downscaling. It's not using its heavy weapons integration at all. Got a lot of empty slots. Not much in the way of PD other than the Paladins. So I suppose you don't need much if you've got Paladins. It's got ITU, ECCM. Do these count as do these projectiles count as missiles? No, I'm thinking of the gyrojets. Hardened shields, bringing it down to 0.72 efficiency, which is substantial. Armored weapon mounts. Gonna be a mean ship. All right, so let's get into it. See how they get on. Crystal gun projectiles are missiles. Ah, okay. I know the gyrojets are, but I wasn't sure about the crystals. So very light on freighters in our non-combat fleet, but it's got a decent amount of firepower. The problem is that just nothing has quite as much firepower as a Zebu. Mendicant already down to the Gorgon spam from those sentries. The sentries are kind of mean. However, the Mendicants are just kind of basically kites, so I suppose it's not terribly surprising that they die fast. Watch the chemrails on those buzzards. Those are a serious source of damage for this fleet. Prometheus squaring off against a rampart. Not enjoying itself by the looks of it either. Already fluxed out, presumably by the squalls. And these enforcers are trying to get involved, but they just don't have any high explosive damage. So they just don't do anything to these ramparts. Hyena went down. It's going to have been a while since we saw a since we saw a Cadder fleet in a tournament, and I think we're going to just see a repeat of what happens when Cadder fleets come to tournaments, where they just don't have a great time. These are very, very aggressive ships with low staying power. They depend on being able to kill the enemy before any meaningful retaliation can be offered, which doesn't necessarily work so hot in a PvE tournament format. Brigantine coming in very quickly, looking for kills on that Tarsus. The Prophet, however, doing damage to the Tarsus before the Brigantine can even try. The Brigantine is down though, and the Tarsus is still alive. Oh, delayed detonation on that mule. Those crystal guns are doing some very good work. Yeah, the overload shatter, the delayed shatter effect on those crystal guns is doing so much work against this fleet. Kill Skipper gone. Look at all the shards embedded in these things. Are we playing fucking Halo now? Just using a needler. Brigantine swooping in, takes out the Enforcer quickly and cleanly. But it's now got an angry onslaught firing at it. Brigantine is down, mostly just cleaning up this Bruth now, which the Onslaught and the Prophet are in a great position to do so. Big damage on that Snathod. Kill Skipper is down. A lot of capital ships in this fleet. A lot of meat doing well for him. A lot of mostly HE damage though. Now, here come the Pathers. Are they going to be able to handle the Pathers, though? That is the question. Once again, swiftly cleaning up the top flank. Oh! Crystal detonation instantly killed it. Holy shit. Venture is down. Not even sure what happened to it. The Barber didn't get it. Looks like we're about to lose another Enforcer to these Praybirds and Maracas. Where is that Prophet? Oh, he's bullying another Prometheus. Okay, fair enough. Fancy that. Another Prometheus is down. However, there is still one more Prometheus active, I believe. Yes, there's only the 3 that spawn. Another Enforcer goes down. This fleet is running out of them. Oh, the crystal guns. The friendly Prometheus Mark III is doing some good work here. They're doing alright as artillery platforms. I believe we haven't lost any freighters this wave, which is very good. The Prometheus went down up there. The enemy Prometheus went down to the Onslaught up there. Maraca is down. Another Hyena drops. Again, I don't think this is terribly surprising. Hyenas were never very good ships at staying alive. None really none of the Catter ships are, except for the really big ones like the Prophet. Actually, no, specifically the Guardian ships are the ones that are good at staying alive. So the Prophet, the Golem, the Buzzards, they're pretty good. And now our scary one, the Remnant Wave. Now, that Radiant is in position to really tear through a lot of their ships. But they have more than enough kinetic damage to really rip through these relatively fragile ships over here. Especially without any officers in them. Oh, let's see that Super Combine. And there it is. Fortunately, the Radiant is here. 2 Tarsi are down. More will die. Prometheus has pivoted around and is providing artillery support to the Tarsi, but more of them are dying. I don't think there's many left. Are there any left? There are 2 Tarsi left. Millions must haul. The Tarsus has fallen. One of the Promethei goes down to the Radiant. Now there's a big debris field blocking the Prophet and the other Prometheus from engaging the Radiant, which is very inconvenient. The Prophet really wants to get in that shit, though. Camel goes down. Another Mendicant goes down. That debris field is a big problem. It's stopping them from supporting their lighter ships, which are dropping like flies. The Prometheus does manage to take out the Fulgent class, and the Prophet is currently losing against this Radiant, which is obviously bad. But the Radiant is running out of steam, and it's now trying to pull back, which is a scenario that favors the Prophet more. The Prophet has some truly insane range with those Jezzails, but it doesn't look like it's able to hold that Radiant in range. No, it is not. The Radiant has simply decided to disengage, and the Prophet can't do anything about it. Onslaught engaging the Apex up here. Probably going to be a pretty straightforward fight. Yep, there goes the Apex. Prometheus trying to take care of the Scintilla down here. Down it goes. Now, there aren't really any combat ships left except the Sunbirds and the capital ships. It looks like they lost all of the Buzzards, all of the Camels, all of the Hyenas, and all of the Mendicants. Prophet is kind of struggling to engage this Radiant. Broadsiding it for some reason. But the Radiant does go down. And now, the capital ship wave. Now this is normally not a very, difficult wave to deal with because it's just unescorted capital ships. However, it is fighting more unescorted capital ships. So this could actually be a really, really dangerous wave for this fleet to take on, just because they're outnumbered 5-3. On the other hand, they are fighting capital ships that are exclusively fitted for point defense. This is going to be a very atrocious fight. and I think the Prophet is ultimately going to decide it. They're just exchanging blows back and forth. Swarms of DEMs coming out of those onslaughts, though, putting some big hurt on the Prophet. The Prophet does have the firepower to decide this battle in its own favor. And with a friendly onslaught swooping in that has a lot of high explosive weapons, it has a really good chance of coming through on top, but it's taking so much damage in the process. It's really scary right now for the Prophet. Prometheus does go down to the concerted efforts of one of the Onslaughts and Legions. And that is a third of this fleet's firepower gone. The Prometheus is also not long for this world. Not Prometheus, the Prophet. The Prophet goes down, and I think that is just it. That is going to be it. Stick a fork in him. This fleet is done. Even if the Onslaught wins, there is nothing that it can hope to do against the next wave by itself, and it is currently 4v1. I do not think the Onslaught's got it. Especially when it's fighting two of the upgraded 14th Battlegroup Onslaughts, and they still have Gorgons. The Sunbirds are trying to support what's left, but they just don't have the ability. Because their missile boats fighting a entirely PD wave, they just can't do anything here. I think we're going to see this wave go to CR. I think this is going to be decided by CR. Just because the Sunbirds and the Tarsai have no real reason to try and engage any of these ships. So they're just going to kite until they inevitably run out of CR. So, two teams were able to complete all 6 waves, and the rest of our teams all died at a different wave. One team died at wave 3, one at wave 4, and now at wave 5. Here come the Gladii to finish off these Sunbirds. There's just not really anything, not anything to commentate on here. So, I think pretty clearly our winner here is Idiopathic and Forest Fighters, who finished with like 9 Promethei still active. A horrifying showing. And they probably would have scored even higher if they hadn't killed so many of their own ships. Which is really the most remarkable part of the entire showing, is just how many of those deaths were friendly fire. They lost 20 spades, and I'm pretty sure almost all of them were to friendly fire. That's just embarrassing.
We definitely found the broken combo.
How much cargo do spades have? Like 60? It's actually not a lot. Most of their score comes from the Promethei. Because the spades are like 60 capacity each. But, yeah. Though the Tacoclines just absolutely decided it. Anyways, that means that Forest Fighters and Idiopathic are convincingly our winners. Congratulations, and thank you all for joining me and bearing with me through technical difficulties. But the last one? Yep, that is the last one. So, that will be the end of our tournament today. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you all next time. Congratulations to our winners again, and until next time, stay safe. Bye-bye.